I watch my wife flush 15 years down the toilet. The gold band spirals once, twice, then disappears with a gurgle that sounds like laughter. Sarah stands there, hand still on the lever, chest heaving, mascara streaked down her cheeks like war paint. "There," she says. "That's what I think of your cheap bullshit." The bathroom tiles are cold under my knees. I don't remember kneeling. The ring cost me 3 months' salary back when I was 23, and stupid enough to think gold could promise forever. I'd worked double shifts at the warehouse, eaten ramen for 90 days straight, and proposed on a beach at sunset like some goddamn Hallmark movie. Michael. Her voice softens now, the rage already morphing into that particular brand of regret she wears like perfume. "Baby, I didn't mean—" "Don't." I stand slowly. My reflection in the mirror shows a man I barely recognize. Graying at the temples, lines around his eyes, wearing an expression that might be grief or might be relief. Behind me, Sarah reaches out, her hand pale and trembling. "I just wanted something nicer," she whispers. "All my friends have diamonds, real ones. And you keep saying we can't afford it. But we can afford your stupid fishing trips and your—" "Get out." She blinks. "What?" "Of the bathroom. Get out." For once, she obeys. I close the door and sit on the edge of the tub. Through the wall, I hear her crying, those calculated sobs she uses when she wants me to chase her, to apologize for whatever I've done wrong this time. Last month it was the car. Before that, the vacation she wanted to Bali. Before that. My phone buzzes. Text from my brother. "Mom's asking about Thanksgiving. You guys coming?" I think about last Thanksgiving. Sarah calling my mother's cooking rustic with that smile that could mean anything. My dad pulling me aside later, asking if everything was okay, if I was okay. Me lying, because that's what you do when you're married. You lie to everyone, including yourself. The bathroom cabinet holds her makeup, her pills, her serums that cost more than our water bill. Behind them, tucked in the back where she never looks, is a small velvet box. I pull it out. 3 carats, flawless, certified. The receipt is folded underneath, $15,000. I've been paying it off for 8 months, planning to give it to her next Saturday for our anniversary, imagining her face the way she'd cry, real tears this time, and tell me she was sorry for doubting me, for all the times she called me cheap and selfish and small. I look at the toilet, at the box, at my reflection, then I pull out my laptop and open my email. My buddy Jake is a real estate agent. Good one, too. I start typing. "Need to sell the house fast, cash only. Can you help?" His response comes in 30 seconds. That's random. "Everything okay?" "Everything's perfect," I type. "Sarah's going on that girls' trip next week, right? I need it done by then." 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. "Mike, you sure about this?" I look at the door. Sarah's gone quiet out there, probably scrolling through Instagram, looking at other people's lives and finding ours lacking. The house is in my name. Bought it 2 years before we met. Back when I had dreams that didn't include someone telling me they weren't enough. "I'm sure," I type. "And Jake, keep it quiet." I flush the toilet again just to hear the sound. Then I open the velvet box and stare at the diamond that catches the bathroom light and throws rainbows across the ceiling. Next Saturday, Sarah will come home from her trip, but she won't be coming home to me. The locksmith arrives at 6 a.m. "You want all of them changed?" He's younger than me. Tattooed arms, wedding ring on his finger. He glances at the Mercedes in the driveway. Sarah's car, the one she insisted we lease even though we couldn't afford it. "This is a nice place, man." "Security issue?" Something like that. He doesn't ask again. Smart kid. Jake calls while the guy's working on the front door. "Mike, I've got 3 cash offers. One's $40K over asking, investor out of California. Closing in 5 days. But listen, you need to think about, take it. The consequences. Sarah's going to lose her mind. You guys have community property laws, and even if the house is in your name, she can have half the proceeds. I'll write her a check," silence on the line. "Then what did she do, man?" I watched the locksmith work, his hand steady and sure, removing the old lock cylinder. She reminded me what cheap looks like. Sarah's been posting stories from Miami all week. Her and the girls at clubs, at brunch, on a yacht someone's boyfriend owns. In every photo, she's glowing, laughing, her left hand conspicuously angled away from the camera. No ring to show off anymore. Yesterday she texted, "Having such a good time. Wish you were here," followed by a heart emoji. Single heart. She used to send 3, I didn't respond. The movers come next. They're efficient, packing up my stuff. Clothes, books, my dad's old fishing gear, the photo albums from before Sarah, when my life still felt like it belonged to me. They leave everything of hers untouched. The walk-in closet full of clothes with tags still on. The kitchen gadgets she bought and never used. The decorative pillows that cost $200 each and made the couch impossible to sit on. What about this? One of the movers holds up our wedding photo. We look happy in it. We probably were for about 15 minutes. Leave it. My apartment is across town. 1-bedroom, parking spot, month-to-month lease. The landlord looked at my credit score and didn't ask questions. I'm eating Chinese food straight from the container when my phone rings. Sarah's mom. I stare at the screen. Let it ring. She calls again. Michael. Her voice is tight. Sarah's been trying to reach you. I've been busy, she's worried. She says you're not answering her texts. I scroll through my messages. 17 from Sarah, increasingly frantic. Are you okay? Mike, seriously, answer me. This isn't funny, did something happen? Michael, tell her I'm fine, I say. Tell her I'll see her when she gets back. Is this about the ring? Sarah's mom asks. Because she told me what happened and honey, she feels terrible. She was just emotional, you know how she gets. Mrs. Chen, I set down the chopsticks. With all due respect, I don't think you know your daughter as well as you think you do. I hang up. The next 3 days pass in a blur. I sign papers. Transfer funds. Watch my bank account swell with money that feels like blood money. Even though it's mine. Earned through 15 years of working my ass off while Sarah spent it on things that made her feel less empty. Jake texts on day 4, closed. New owners take possession tomorrow. You really doing this? I type out my response with steady hands, I really am. Then I sit down and write a note. It takes me 2 hours and 4 drafts to get it right. When I'm done, I fold it around the receipt for the diamond ring, the one she'll never wear, and put both in an envelope. On the outside, I write her name in the handwriting she used to say she loved. Tomorrow, Sarah comes home. Tomorrow, I find out if 15 years of marriage weighed more than a gold band in a toilet. Tomorrow, I find out who I am when I stop being the man she married. I look at the envelope. Then I text Jake, one more thing. I need you to be there when she arrives. Why? Because I'm not strong enough to watch her face. Jake calls me at 2:47 p.m. She's here. I'm sitting in my apartment staring at a wall the color of old bones, holding the velvet box. I've been holding it for an hour. My hand aches, and, Mike, Jesus, she's screaming. The new owners called the cops. I close my eyes. Did you give her the envelope? Yeah, she threw it at me. Then she read it. Then she threw up in the bushes. The envelope contained 3 things, the note, the receipt, and her half of the house sale. A check for $287,000. More money than she'd see in 5 years at her consulting job that mostly involved lunch meetings and calling it networking. The note said, You told me I was cheap. You were right. I was cheap with my self-respect, cheap with my boundaries, cheap with what I accepted as love. The ring you flushed cost $4,200. I bought it when I believed in us. The ring I was going to give you cost $15,000. I bought it when I still wanted to. The house you're standing in front of sold for $574,000. I bought it before I met you, and I'm keeping my half as a reminder. I was never the cheap one. Your key doesn't work because you don't live here anymore. The check in your hand is your share. The receipt is your answer. It wasn't the ring that was cheap. She wants to talk to you, Jake says. She's calling me every 2 minutes. The cops are trying to calm her down, but she's telling them her husband locked her out, stole the house The house was in my name. I gave her half the money. I broke no laws. Mike. Jake's voice drops. She's crying so hard she can't breathe. I've never seen someone look so destroyed. Good, I think. Then I hate myself for thinking it. Block her number for me, I say. Forward any calls to my lawyer. You don't have a lawyer. I do now. I hang up. The thing about revenge is that it's supposed to feel satisfying. That's what they tell you. Eye for an eye, what goes around comes around, karma's a bitch. But sitting here in this apartment that smells like someone else's cooking, holding a diamond ring I'll never give to anyone, I don't feel satisfied. I feel like I flushed myself down the toilet with that gold band. My phone buzzes. Sarah's calling from a different number. I watch it ring. On the 7th ring, I answer. Michael. Her voice is raw. Michael, please, I don't say anything. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. About the ring, about calling you cheap, about everything. I was horrible. I know I was horrible. But we can fix this. We can go to therapy. We can... Did you read the note? Silence. Then, you bought me a diamond. I did. A $15,000 diamond. Yes. And you sold our house. My house. She makes it sound like something breaking. Where am I supposed to go? You have $287,000. You'll figure it out. Michael, I love you. The words hang there. I remember the first time she said them. We were at a diner at 3 a.m. and she had ketchup on her chin, and I thought I'd never heard anything more true. I remember the last time she said them. 3 months ago, maybe 4, tossed over her shoulder as she left for work, automatic as breathing. When? I ask, what? When did you love me? Before you called me cheap? After you flushed the ring? Or right now when you're standing in front of a house you can't get into? That's not fair. You're right. It's not. I stand up, walk to the window. The parking lot is half empty. A kid is learning to ride a bike, his dad running beside him. You want to know something? I was going to forgive you. Then forgive me now, please, I'll do anything. I was going to forgive you even though you've spent 15 years making me feel like I'm not enough. Not rich enough, not successful enough, not anything enough. I was going to give you that diamond and pretend the toilet incident never happened because that's what I do. I pretend, Michael. But then I sat on that bathroom floor and I realized something. The ring wasn't the only thing you flushed. You've been flushing us for years. Every time you rolled your eyes at my family. Every time you complained about what we couldn't afford. Every time you made me feel this small. My hand is shaking. The velvet box falls to the floor. I don't want to be small anymore, I say. You're not small. You're the biggest person I know. You're kind and patient and stupid enough to stay. The line goes quiet. In the background I hear sirens, voices, the sound of her breathing. I'm keeping the diamond, I say. I'm going to sell it and take my dad on that fishing trip to Alaska he's always wanted. The one you said was a waste of money. Michael, don't do this. It's already done. I hang up. Block the number. Turn off my phone. The apartment feels too quiet. I pick up the velvet box, open it one last time. The diamond catches the light from the window. Throws rainbows across the wall like promises nobody keeps. Tomorrow I'll sell it. Tonight, I'll sit here and mourn the man who thought gold could save him. Sarah finds me 3 days later at my dad's house. I'm in the garage, helping him organize his tackle boxes when I hear her voice, high and desperate, talking to my mom at the front door. My hands freeze on a plastic container of lures. Mike's here, Dad says quietly. He's 72, been married to my mom for 50 years, and he's seen enough to know the sound of a marriage dying. You want me to tell her to leave? No. I don't know why I say it. Maybe because some part of me still wants to see what love looks like when it's crawling. Maybe because I'm not as done as I pretend to be. Maybe because I'm still just cheap enough to give her one more chance. She's standing in the living room when I come in. She's lost weight. Her hair is unwashed, pulled back in a ponytail, and she's wearing the Northwestern hoodie I gave her 10 years ago. The one she claimed got lost in a move. You kept that, I say. She touches the fabric. I kept a lot of things. My mom hovers in the doorway. Dad puts a hand on her shoulder, pulls her back. They disappear into the kitchen, leaving us alone with the elephant, the corpse, the marriage. How'd you find me? I ask. You're at your dad's house. Where else would you be? Fair point. We stand there, 5 feet and a million miles apart. She's holding something, a folder, papers inside. Her hands are shaking. I found an apartment, she says. 2 bedrooms. I put down first and last month's rent. It's in Lincoln Park near that coffee shop you like. I don't live near there anymore. I know. I just thought, if you ever wanted to visit, she trails off. I wait, I got a real job, she continues. Not consulting, real work. At a marketing firm. It's entry level, but the pay is decent and my boss says I have potential. She laughs hollow. Turns out I'm actually good at stuff when I try. Congratulations, Michael, don't what? Be cruel. You're not cruel. Maybe I learned from the best. She flinches. Good. No. Not good. I'm sick of this. Sick of the person I'm becoming. Sick of how satisfying it feels to watch her hurt. I talked to a therapist, she says, 4 times now. She says I have issues from my mom mostly, the way she raised me to think love was about things, about showing people you mattered by what you had. She opens the folder. I made a list of every mean thing I said to you. Every time I made you feel small. It's 17 pages, she holds it out. I don't take it. Page 3, October 2019, I called your promotion cute in front of your boss. Page 7, Christmas 2021. I told your sister her gift was thoughtful in that tone that means pathetic. Page 11, stop, page 11, last month. I flushed your ring down the toilet because you wouldn't buy me a diamond. Because I'm a spoiled, entitled, broken person who didn't deserve you. Sarah. I sold my car. She's crying now, tears streaming down her face, and I remember when I used to think her tears could change the weather. The Mercedes. Paid off the lease and sold it. Took the bus here. I'm done trying to be someone I'm not. I'm done trying to impress people who don't matter. I sit down on my dad's couch, the one Sarah always hated because it was dated. She sits too, but not next to me, on the chair across the room like I might bolt if she gets too close. You want to know the worst part? She says, I didn't marry you for money. I married you because you were the first person who made me feel like I was enough. Just me, not my parents' daughter or my friend's competition or any of that. Just Sarah. And then I spent 15 years proving I didn't believe it. Why are you here? I ask. Because I don't want the diamond. I look up. I called Jake. I asked him if you'd sold it yet. He said no, so I'm here to tell you, sell it. Take your dad to Alaska. Take yourself. Take someone who deserves it. But don't keep it because of me. Don't let me haunt you like that. She stands up, sets the folder on the coffee table. I'm not asking you to forgive me, she says. I'm not asking you to take me back. I'm just asking you to stop punishing yourself by holding on to something that'll always remind you of how I hurt you. She walks to the door. My mom reappears with a Tupperware container. Food, probably, because that's what my mom does when people are broken. Sarah takes it, whispers thank you, and then she's gone. I sit there for a long time. Dad comes in eventually, sits next to me. That girl loves you, he says. That girl destroyed me. Both things can be true. I pick up the folder. 17 pages. Her handwriting, small and precise, documenting her sins like a confession she'll never get absolution for. Page 17. The last entry. I flushed your ring because I was terrified you'd realize you deserved better. I was right, my phone is still off. The diamond is still in my apartment. Sarah's on a bus going back to a life without me. And I'm here, holding evidence of every wound, wondering if forgiveness is about them or about you. Dad squeezes my shoulder. You don't have to decide today, but I already know. You can't build a marriage on receipts and revenge. You can only build it on what's left after the water stops running. I sell the diamond on a Tuesday. The jeweler is sympathetic, professional, doesn't ask questions when I tell him I need the cash. He gives me $1,100. Less than I paid, but more than I deserve for a promise I'll never keep. I take my dad to Alaska 3 weeks later. We fish for salmon in water so cold it hurts, and at night, we drink beer on a porch overlooking mountains that don't care about marriage or gold or people trying to make themselves whole by breaking each other. You talk to her? He asks on the third night. No. You going to? I watch the sunset paint the sky red and gold. Colors that look like wedding rings, like fall leaves, like endings that pretend to be beautiful. I don't know. That's honest, at least. He tells me about the time my mom almost left him, 30 years ago when I was too young to remember. They'd fought about money, about his drinking, about her mother living with them. She'd packed a suitcase, called her sister, stood at the door with her hand on the knob. What made her stay? I ask. I didn't beg her to. He finishes his beer. I told her I loved her enough to let her go. Told her she deserved someone who made her happy, even if it wasn't me. And she looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time and said, "You idiot. You already do. That's different." Maybe. We sit in silence. A bird calls in the distance. The water moves like it's breathing. Sarah's different now, I say. Therapy, job, sold her car. She's trying. Are you? The question lands like a hook in my chest. I think about the note I wrote. The satisfaction of watching her world collapse. The way I've been carrying my anger like a trophy. Proof that I finally stood up for myself. Proof that I'm not cheap, but revenge is cheap. It costs you everything and gives you nothing but the taste of ashes. I miss her, I admit. The real her. The one who wore my hoodie and laughed at stupid jokes and cried during insurance commercials. The one who existed before she turned into someone trying so hard to be important that she forgot she already was. So tell her. What if she does it again? What if I take her back and in 5 years we're right back here? Dad looks at me. Then you'll know you tried. That's all any of us can do, Mike. Try and hope we're better this time than we were last time. I fly home alone. Dad stays another week, says the fish are biting, but I think he just knows I need to do this part myself. Sarah's apartment is small, like she said. Second floor, plants in the window. A doormat that says welcome in letters that look hand-painted. I stand outside for 10 minutes before I knock. She opens the door in pajamas. 3 p.m. on a Saturday and she's in pajamas, hair wet from a shower, face bare. She looks 25 again. She looks terrified. "Hi," I say. "Hi." We stare at each other. "I sold the diamond," I blurt out. "Good. Took my dad to Alaska." "How was it?" "Perfect, cold. We caught a 40-pound king salmon." "Your dad must have loved that." "He did." More silence. A neighbor walks past, glances at us, keeps going. "You want to come in?" Sarah asks. Her apartment is neat, spare, nothing like our old house. A couch from IKEA. A bookshelf with actual books, not just decoration. Photos on the wall. Her family, her friends, one of us at the beach, 15 years younger, stupid with hope. "I read your list," I say. She closes her eyes. "I'm sorry. Don't be. It was brave. Seeing yourself that clearly. What do you want, Michael?" I look at her. Really look. At the woman who hurt me, who loved me, who became someone I didn't recognize and is trying to find her way back. "I want to know if you're doing this for you or for me." "Both," she says immediately. "I'm doing it for both. Because I can't be with you if I'm still the person who flushed that ring, and I can't be with myself if I'm that person either. I want to believe you. So believe me. It's not that simple. It never was." She sits on the couch, pulls her knees to her chest. "I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect us to magically be okay. I just want a chance to prove I'm not her anymore." I think about the gold band in the toilet, the diamond in someone else's hands, the house with new locks and new owners and a history it doesn't know it's carrying. "I'm not moving back in," I say. "Okay." And we're starting over, not picking up where we left off. Starting over. "Okay. And if you ever make me feel that small again, I'm gone. No note, no check, just gone." She nods, tears sliding down her face. "And you have to wear this." I pull something from my pocket. Not a ring. Not jewelry. Her old Northwestern hoodie, folded small. The one I took from my dad's house when she wasn't looking. She laughs through the tears. Takes it, holds it like it's made of gold. "It wasn't the ring that was cheap," I say softly. "It was what we turned into. So let's be expensive," she whispers. "Let's cost each other everything and make it worth it." I sit next to her. Not touching yet. Not ready, but close enough that I can smell her shampoo. See the freckle on her shoulder, remember why I kneeled on cold bathroom tiles and asked her to spend forever with me. "Coffee first," I say. "That place near here you mentioned. The one I like." "Coffee first," she agrees. We walk there in silence. Two broken people trying to be whole. Two cheapskates learning the price of love isn't measured in gold or diamonds or houses with new locks. It's measured in 17-page confessions and sold Mercedes and the willingness to sit with someone who hurt you and say, "Try again." The barista asks what we want. Sarah looks at me. I look at her. 2 coffees, I say. "Black, simple, cheap," she smiles. Perfect. And for the first time in years, I believe her.